The story of life in Hollywood's fast lane. They have made a bundle out of being bad. But just how bad are they?
Joan Collins, Jackie Collins, two beautiful sisters making a good living as the bad girls of Hollywood. Joan is at her best when she's bad, especially as Dynasty's bitchy villainess Alexis Colby.
All the time she was trying to destroy me. Well, you'll regret the day if you ever heard the name Alexis Colby. The public are very, very smart. They know a good thing when they see it. No, I don't know. I think that the public have always been fascinated by bad, wicked women, you know, vamps and sex pots.
And while Joan is small screen poison on the tube, little sister Jackie wields her venom with a poison pen in her 9th bestseller, Hollywood Wives.
I mean, there were so many furious Hollywood wives when the book came out. They were really furious. There were women that came up to me at parties and said, "You've written about my husband, and what do you know about our lifestyle? You're a stranger in town." And I said, "I'm not a stranger in town. I've been coming here since I was 15 years old. And because I've been able to stand back and observe what goes on, I really know what I'm writing about. If I was one of you, I wouldn't be able to write about you. Perhaps I wouldn't dare to write about you if I was one of you."
Jackie's fictitious tale managed to ruffle a few industry feathers, but not enough to stop production of an upcoming ABC miniseries. When we went behind the scenes on the normally closed set, the stars told us of the Hollywood they know.
It wasn't the Hollywood I grew up in, but I think it's a fair representation of Hollywood, maybe even generous.
Rolling. Rolling.
Based on the book Hollywood Wives, this lavish production depicts characters all too familiar to its Hollywood cast.
I feel like I've just known a million Elaines, and I think of Elaine as a sort of designer doormat. I think of her as a Hollywood wife who's well-heeled and long-suffering, but she's essentially a server of... She's a woman of service, and a woman of sacrifice, and a woman who tries to fill her days with things like tennis and manicures and lunches and shopping in order not to face the stark reality that her life is totally empty and desolate.
She is conniving and manipulative, and she will do anything and everything to get ahead in show business.
I would just love to do something for you in your film.
People in this town do get desperate because the stakes are so high, and I can conceive that people might go to the lengths that Gina Germain goes, but I can't imagine it, but it could be possible.
I'm not saying that that's the whole Hollywood. I'm saying it's a small segment of Hollywood who are like the characters in Hollywood Wives. And I've toned them down because
You've toned them down?
The reality is so much wilder than the fiction that nobody would believe it.
Did you ever try acting?
I came to Hollywood when I was 15, and I studied vaguely in 20th Century Fox's acting school for talent. And I used to go on these interviews, and you know, Joan had left me the keys to her car and apartment, and she'd gone off on location, so there I was nearly 16 actually. And it was great because I would have this list of famous people I could call up for help. I would see so much then. I would see the way men used women in the film industry, and I do think that women are used in the film industry. And that's why I love writing strong women. I mean, you know, come on, Chuck, this town is run by men, and whoever says otherwise is kidding themselves. But I'm going to change all that.
You're going to change all of it. And like sister Jackie, Joan is also committed to propagating a strong and independent female image.
And I would like to play more kinds of roles in which women have a more dominant part in the story and are not just decorative.
Would you ever write about your sister?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
Because you have to write about people with warts and all, and everybody has warts.
Yeah.
And I think it would be more interesting to create perhaps a character that has a little bit of her in, and she wouldn't know it.
It's a business where even sisters will turn on each other. But these two are close. And if Jackie has ever written about Joan in one of her books, she's not telling.